Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today I am here with our friend, Miss Robin Shimizu, going to be talking about happy, healthy habits. So come on in, sit back, relax, and let's have a great conversation today. We want to give a shout out to all of you watching live and on the replay. For those of you who may actually be joining us on YouTube, we want you to subscribe so you can find us easily. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, you have to let them know that you want our notifications. So please do that, and so that'll make your life a lot easier in terms of finding us every day, Monday through Friday, here on BizChicks TV. We are so happy to have Robin in the studio. She's been so gracious to join us today. And so, Robin, how are you?
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this rain that we're having.
Oh, isn't it pleasant?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
we are in such need of this rain. I'm excited too.
yeah, enjoying the clean air and the yeah. I really love it. It feels like winter out there though. It's cool.
It's a little cool. It
It's a
feels
little
like
cool.
spring for us who are from the East Coast.
Yeah,
Yes, April showers bring May flowers. So we're excited about that. And, we've needed it for so long. So, yes, we say yes to the rain.
we say yes to the rain.
Hmm.
So last night I was searching around for something. Again, where I'm still looking at for the trends that we're seeing in health and wellness for 2022, and I came across
Hmm.
this article. It's a health advocate blog, and they had 22 items that were trends for the new 2022, and most of it we've already talked about. But there was one in particular, number 19 out of 22.
Hmm.
Number 19 says, "Mind your manners. Please and thank you can go a long way when interacting with others. It demonstrates respect and appreciation." And I thought about that, and I thought, that's really true. I think we're very kind and respectful of our friends and our colleagues and people we work with. But
Hmm.
I wanted to remind people to say please and thank you to your own family members and your own really close circle of friends that are like your family. We don't, we let we kind of sometimes get sloppy when it comes to
Oh,
interacting with our own family. We truncate things, we make things shorter and brusque sometimes. And
uh-huh.
I find that even with my own family, that if I um, just take more time to be more respectful of them and how I'm saying things to them, and you know just be more mindful that I would talk to them the way I would want to be talked to. Remember the golden
Okay. Wow. You know something? I like this whole idea of the fact that we do need to be a little more considerate, I think, of what's going on um, with our mouth.
Mm-hmm.
We need to love on one another, and we've been through so much, and there's been so many tug of wars. Why isn't we are more polite with people who are strangers or people in the workplace? Why is it that we overlook sometimes common courtesy amongst our loved ones and people who are close to us,
Mm-hmm.
people who care about us?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with that?
Right. Right. And I think I'm more aware of it, now that I'm living with my mother, and we're together every day, all the day, all day long, and you have a tendency to take each other for granted.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it was a really good one for me. I thought, you know what? I think I want to talk about that today. Just people just to be more aware of their manners inside your own home with your loved ones.
Wow.
Uh,
I thank you for reminding us to be kind to those who are close to us and to practice, what would you call it? Practice patience, practice grace,
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Extend some grace. Give people a break. Um, and then don't be so quick to be offended. Mind your manners at home and abroad.
That's Yeah, because one of the tips that we had, we talked about a few weeks ago is, just standing back and taking stock of what's happening around you and don't react.
Hmm.
So no, try not to overreact to situations, and that's another good way of just trying to keep things on a level, even playing field. If you can
Mm.
just step back and wait for a moment and observe, and then figure out how you're going to react without harm to
Mm.
either yourself or to the other person.
Yes. Someone in my life used to say, time will slow walk some things down.
Now, would that be your grandmother?
No, but it was someone very close to me. They used to say time will slow walk some things down, but they were up in age too. Yes. So just wisdom, you know,
Right, right.
the wisdom of having lived long enough. So we have your guest in the studio. Do you want to introduce her?
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. So we haven't seen Linus for a little while. Linus Woods Mullins is with us today, and I want to read from her bio because it's quite extensive. Um, So, Woods Mullins is a certified holistic living and wellness expert and certified holistic living and wellness coach for women over 40. She's the founder of Praise Works Health and Wellness, a mind, body, spirit wellness company that specializes in educating women over the age of 40 on wellness. She
Mm.
uses holistic practices, fitness, nutrition, and spiritual renewal. Linus has over 50-year background in dance and is certified in nutrition, life coaching, yoga, and Pilates. And over the years, Linus has been recognized internationally and nationally for her contributions to the wellness industry for women over 40 and has been on TV programs, countless radio shows, and podcasts. Linus currently serves on several boards regionally and nationally. She lives here in California with her hubby and has 4 grown daughters and 4 grandchildren. She's a very, very, very busy lady. So we're very grateful that she takes time to be with us. So I think she's on now, and let's
Yes,
bring
we're
Linus
ready to
on.
bring her to the stage. Okay. Hello, Linus. How are
Hello,
you?
hello. Hi. I'm sorry I was a little bit late, but I
No
wanted to let you
problem.
know I got here with my besties. How is everybody?
All is
We're
well.
we're very excited because we've not had this subject before, Linus.
Oh, okay.
And
I wasn't
so,
sure.
yeah, and I'm particularly interested in yoga because I've been delving into it a little bit. So I'm really excited for today's
Well,
talk.
I am certified in yoga and
Hmm.
have been doing it for many, many years, but I haven't really like incorporated it in my practice. Maybe like one-on-one with my one-on-one coaching, we do all kinds of things together, but not with my overall group coaching. And I have a new group coaching program started, and we're going to be doing these yoga sessions. So
Hmm.
yoga is extremely important, especially for midlife women, because it has a lot of benefits that we need to be thinking about as we get older. And also, it's low impact. So the chances of you
Mm.
hurting yourself is not as great, perhaps, as doing things that cause your joints a lot of him back, pounding, like for instance, running or jogging or aerobics, which is kind of out now. I think now they call it Zumba. Still the same kind of movement. Zumba is great, but you have to be careful. If you're not someone who's worked out a lot, or if you're not warmed up properly, you can hurt
Mm.
yourself. And I've been to some of these Zumba classes, and they're great, but I'm always concerned about their warm up because I understand from a dancer's perspective the importance for warm up, even for young bodies. It's extremely important.
Mm.
Sometimes when you're not warming up, you may not have any injuries that you see or feel, but over time, certain things can start to happen. I know that because I'm a
Oh.
victim of that. I hated warming up as a dancer. I hated doing stretches. So I just want to get out there and go. But I finally did one day have a hamstring pull many years later, and it was over an accumulation of time of not warming up properly. So it's really important that we warm up properly no matter what it is that we do. And yoga is so gentle in terms of how it wakes up your body and wakes up your muscles and everything else. The chances of hurting yourself are a lot less. And the other thing about yoga, I know you see people, putting themselves in pretzels and all that kind of stuff, but actually you don't have to do that in order for yoga to be impactful in your life. Some of
Mm.
the benefits for yoga, and this is supported by science, this is just not me talking, are like amazing. Um, it's a physical practice. It helps you with your posture, and they call it a physical practice because you have to practice it. I don't know anybody who's like an expert in yoga. There's always something that you have to learn in yoga, just like in anything
Okay.
else. They say that a doctor, it's a medical practice, which is kind of scary sometimes when you think about it, but they don't know every single thing about the body and how it works. So it is a practice. Same thing with yoga. And I think the first thing you want to know about yoga is that it can improve your flexibility. There was back in 2016, there was a study done on this, and it talked about how there was over time an ever increasing ability to improve flexibility. And the reason why we want to have flexibility, quite frankly, is that as we get older, our joints kind of lock up a little bit. If you ever sat for a long time and you get up, you're like, oh, yoga helps with that quite a bit. Also, if God forbid you should take a fall or whatever, the more flexible you are, the less you are to really severely injure yourself because you can maybe break your fall or do something. If
Mm.
you are in shape by yoga, it will give you the flexibility perhaps to do that. Another thing about yoga is that it is fantastic for stress relief. There was a study done by the American Psychological Association, and they said that 84% of the adults that took this study said that they felt less stress after doing
Ah.
yoga. And one of the reasons might be is that your focus is on the movements because they are, a little awkward, or a lot of times you're focusing on holding movements. And while you're thinking
Mhm.
about that, your stress levels begin to go down because that is your major preoccupation. And that's a good thing because yoga can help drive down cortisol levels. And cortisol, we need cortisol in our bodies. We would die without cortisol, but we don't need it at an elevated perspective because that's what
Okay.
causes thickening. That's what causes and cortisol usually comes because of stress or prolonged anxiety, emotional things. The flight or fright response comes, when that happens. Our cholesterol levels go way up. And what we want to do, especially as midlife women, because our cholesterol levels, or not cholesterol, our cortisol levels are so high because of menopause, we want to find different ways to drive them down. And exercise is great, but yoga is really, really good because it really does take your mind off of whatever is stressing you out.
Mm.
And the same or thing, it also can help improve your mental health. There have been studies that have shown that the breathing practices that are done during yoga, because a lot of the moves that you do in yoga have a lot to do with the breath and breathing into the positions. And that is very good for kind of clearing your mind. If you go into a yoga session and you're kind of stressed out and you're worried or whatever, your mind will be cleared at the end of that session because you're focusing on something else other than the problem or the issue of concern. Another thing that yoga can do, it can reduce chronic inflammation. And of course,
Oh,
chronic inflammation
talk
can
to me about that.
it can result in heart disease, diabetes, or arthritis, or even Crohn's disease. There's been about 15 research studies that I found that talk about this in terms of the various styles and intensities and durations of yoga. It reduces the biochemical markers for inflammation when it comes to several chronic conditions. So if depending on what level of yoga, the more difficulty of yoga, the longer you do it, the more you begin to drive down that inflammation. That's another reason why you want to do it. Yoga is likely to increase your strength, especially because you're using your body weight. You're not using any weights, but you're using your body weight to move into these positions. So it's doing something like what's the word? Gosh, I can't think of it right now. It'll come to me. Downward dogs. Very simple, very common move. Something like that can begin to increase your strength because you are supporting your body with your arms and your legs. So you're using your body weight to strengthen yourself.
Wow,
So
I
it's
hadn't even thought about that. You know,
yeah.
I did yoga for a little while when I worked for the government. They had classes on at lunchtime, and so I
Mhm.
did learn some moves. But yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it really
calming.
can.
Yes, go
It's
ahead.
been really found effective to be strengthening this area here for those women who've had breast cancer or breast removal. They have special yoga moves to help strengthen that area. So yeah, it really can do it. And of course, the other thing, and this is what was important to me because of my anxiety disorder that I used to have, is that it can reduce anxiety. The
Mm,
Anxiety and Depression Association of America recently stated that anxiety disorders may be probably one of the most common mental health issues that we have in the United
mm,
States. And of course, it's gone up even more over the last 2 years because of the uncertainty we've been living under for the last 2 years. And so, numerous studies have supported the fact that anxiety, that feeling of anxiety, those anxious thoughts, decrease more when you are practicing yoga. Another thing that's really good about yoga, it definitely boosts your immune system. It's amazing how much better you feel overall doing yoga. But in particular, they have found a distinct link between practicing yoga, over a long term,
yes.
and better immune system functioning. And I
Wow.
think that's probably true. I've been practicing yoga off and on for 15 years, and people around me have gotten COVID and everything else. I think there were some times where I got a symptom of it or whatever, but my immune system fought it off. If I did get it, it didn't stay very long. And I do believe a lot of it has to do with my lifestyle, but in particular, things that I
Yes.
try to do to boost my immunity. Another thing is that, and this is important, yoga can improve balance. And the reason why that's important is that as we
Mm,
get older, our sense of balance begins to change a little bit. So, yoga can help improve that because you are challenging yourself by doing moves that require balance. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of athletes do yoga. A lot of football players, especially quarterbacks, is not just because they want to have peace, but it's also because they want to improve their balance. Because a lot of times they're running and their body goes in different ways, and they want to stay on their feet, or they want to improve their overall flexibility and muscles so that when they do fall, they don't hurt themselves. That's another reason why
mm.
some football players take ballet, to be able to familiarize themselves more with ways to fall and to strengthen those limbs and those legs and those joints. So when they do take those tumbles, it's not as impactful. So funny.
Ah,
As a ballet dancer, thank God I did not do football, so I cannot say for sure that I know this, but that's what they that's what they say in terms of
I've
why
heard.
they took ballet.
Yes, I've heard reports about different football players taking ballet, and I can see where it would help them spin,
Mm-hmm.
leap into the end zone.
Yes,
That
flexibility of
flexibility
their
and
yeah, legs and their
yes,
also their feet in terms of
mm,
their I would say half step, but their instep. Yeah, a lot of
wow,
little things that support us that can keep us from getting hurt when something like that happens. Absolutely. When you're a dancer, especially in ballet, ballet is asking your body to do the impossible. Instead of turning in, which is normally what we want to do, you're turning out, and you're walking
mm,
around like this all the time, which is what builds your arms and everything else. Is because everything
ah,
you dance,
okay.
you're
I
very
never
rarely your
thought of
arms to the side. Yeah, very
these
rarely.
different moves as
Yeah.
strengthening.
That's
Ah,
why ballerinas. That's why they have those arms. They don't. It's not because they lift weights. It's because they're holding them that way, and they're holding them and kicking their legs and dancing and turning and doing all this stuff. And that's the reason why they have those muscular
great
arms.
arms.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why. Another thing for yoga is that it can improve your cardiovascular function. The arterial pressure can
Hmm.
be reduced as a result of doing these yoga moves. And most of the time, it's because of the yogic breathing, which is called, pranayama. It's a type of breathing exercise that goes with yoga. It focuses on the breath. Sometimes they use it in deep breathing exercises as well. But the main
Mhm.
thing that you want to know about yoga is that it can help the cardiovascular function just by doing the moves and practicing your breathing while you're doing the moves. And there's been all kinds of studies to support this. Yoga,
Mhm.
just like any other exercising, can improve your sleep. I don't even want to say may help. I think it does improve your sleep. Any kind of movement on a regular basis improves your sleep. And yoga definitely falls within that category.
Mm.
Yoga can also improve your bone health, which is an A number one priority for women over 50 because our calcium
Wow.
deposits definitely begin to go down after 40. So 50 and 60, we want to make sure we're doing whatever we can to improve our overall bone health. And
How does
finally,
that work? Um, can I ask
mhm,
you real quick, how does
yeah,
that
yeah.
work to improve our bone health? I'm not sure how that works.
Well,
Is it because we're
the yoga,
strengthening?
yeah, the yoga asanas, they also help to reduce the bone loss that's associated with osteoporosis.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
yeah, it does, and it's because of the positions that you're holding. It's improving the hip and knee area as well, and also as a result of the movement, it's increasing blood flow to the bones,
Mhm.
which sometimes can be limited as you get older because you're not moving as much. So when you're doing yoga, you're moving, and so your bones are getting nourished as a result because the joints are flexing and the blood is flowing to all the various organs of the body, which is strengthening them. One of the reasons why we have issues with bone density, some of it is genetic, but quite frankly, there's been new studies that have come out to show that our genetic predisposition is only about 20% of what's actually going on with us. The rest of it is lifestyle choices. So therefore, if you are genetically predisposed to have osteoporosis or osteopenia, it doesn't mean that you actually have to have it. It just
Mhm.
means that you might have it. And so, therefore, you want to adjust your lifestyle accordingly. Many times people say, oh, well, I'm just obese because it runs in my family, or oh, well, I have this because it runs in my family. Well, it may run in your family, but maybe that also means a great heads up. You need to make some lifestyle changes so that you don't fall victim to that. If you happen
I
to be, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I often say, people inherit the cook. We inherit these recipes and these different things that were not necessarily a healthy lifestyle for sedentary people. People were
Right.
going out and working in a field for
This
18
is
hours,
true. This is
and
true.
then
That's a good point.
so they were burning off a lot of this stuff, and we didn't have a lot of the chemicals in that food at the time, so it
Right.
was more nutritious. But yes, so
Right. That's true.
yeah, so when you say adjust that lifestyle, we need to check the cookbook, right?
Absolutely. There's so many things that we can do with our lifestyle. And sometimes it's just small incremental changes. It doesn't have to be large, and incremental changes over time that can make a
Mhm.
huge difference in terms of how our bodies react to what we do to them or what we don't do to them. Yoga can also promote better posture.
Oh,
Definitely. Absolutely. Um, Posture for me is key. Um, I took dance for so long that it almost hurts my body to slump. So I'm so grateful
well,
to my parents for making that investment in me because even at the age of almost 65, I still have this posture, especially
mhm,
when you're sitting. You don't want to sit down in your hips, because that's so bad for your hip muscles and for your back. You want to sit up. You want your
mhm.
shoulders back. You want your chin to be up, not down like that, and you want
Uh-huh.
to have your backbone straight. And sometimes if you can't do it on your own, you want to get chairs or other things to support your back in a way where you're not getting into a concave position because that is not good for your spine. It's not good for
Mm.
your overall body. And as if your posture begins to go, then other things begin to start slipping too. So yoga can help you with that. It can help you with better posture, and it can help you be more aware of what's going on with your body because yoga's focus is on mobility and flexibility, better alignment. releasing the muscles that are often really tight, like the hamstrings, and improving your overall mobility. So as you're doing these moves, you're becoming more aware. Wow, after a while, I can actually do this. It doesn't hurt anymore, or it feels great. People who do yoga, once you start doing it, it can be almost addictive because
Mhm.
the adrenaline starts going, those feel good hormones start going, oxytocin is produced as a result of doing yoga. So it really can become a part of your physical regime and your mental wellness regime as well. Another thing of just talking about mental wellness, yoga can help improve brain functioning, and it can help with uh, preventing burnout, believe it or not,
Ah.
excessive exhaustion, that affects one's health. It's, everybody is suffering from that. It's at an all-time high right now. And evidently, yoga has helped in terms of us getting more tuned in with our body. Once again, our mind is with our body and not with all the other things that are stressing us out or burning us out. So
Mhm.
bottom line, yoga is excellent for anyone, but especially for those who happen to be midlife women, because it just makes such a obvious difference in your life if you decide to do it.
Fabulous. Well, Lakeisha was in here earlier, and she said she loves yoga. She she's a yeah, she's our Mary Kay lady,
Right,
and
right.
yeah, I really enjoyed it when they offered it in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
So let me bring this up, and let's talk a little bit about you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Linus, we know that you have multi multi businesses. So let me bring up your link tree,
Okay.
and
That's
I'm
the
going to,
best way to do it. That's the best way right
yeah.
now. I'm in the process of doing my sites over and combining my two sites. So this is the best place to go for right now.
Okay. So we're going to start at the top. Linus has Vibe Living Podcasts so that you
Yeah,
can,
a new podcast is coming out today about women's empowerment. I just got through doing a podcast last week about what was the podcast that we did last week about vaginal health.
oh,
We did another podcast before that about the importance of laughter. There's just some great topics coming out, some really great ones. One of the top podcasts of this year was by Jewel Diamond Taylor when she talked about it's okay not to be okay. That by
yes, I
far
love Jewel Diamond
thousands
Taylor.
of downloads. Yes. So there's some great shows on there. And I would like to
Mhm.
encourage everybody to, check me out on Google Play or Apple Podcasts. And please like it and star it and comment, because that helps the
Okay.
show to get in the feed. I would really appreciate it. And subscribe, subscribe. A
We will
new one
do that.
comes down, at least one comes down every week, but it's now I'm probably going to be doing two a week. So I'm getting it up because more and more people are subscribing, and I'm just really excited about what's happening with the podcast.
This is good.
This is
And
good.
over here, we know that if people are interested in a premium membership for coaches, practitioners, and entrepreneurs, she offers that. You can also join the Vibe Wellness Women Over 40 Beyond group,
Yes.
um, and the Vibe Sister Circle, Achieving
Yeah,
Wellness Through
let me say something
Information
though. Yeah, let me say
Support.
that is a jump page that explains what the Vibe Sister Circle is. It's a brand new group that I've put together, and we start in May. I don't know what the date is again. I think it's May 18th. But it is a wellness group specifically for women of color. We address those issues and talk about those issues of women of color, and we not just talk about nutrition and everything else. We talk about a plethora of things, and we do yoga together. We do meditation together. And I'm looking for 10 women who want to participate. It's very affordable. It's only $88 a month, and it's 2 months, 8 weeks. And this is a precursor to my membership program that I'll have online. I'm checking it out to see, if this is something that resonates with people. But these maiden people, these 10 people, the maiden voyage, they will have a lifetime membership once the site goes live. So, because I'm actually using them as little guinea pigs, but they'll learn a lot, and I think they will enjoy it. I've done a lot of group coaching, but this is a little different because I am designing it specifically for women of color who happen to be over 40 and beyond. So, and
Perfect.
Okay.
and the premium membership program is for women in business if they want to come into the group and advertise their products and services, do webinars, also do. I have something called Talk Tuesday where they can come in and talk about it. All of their postings go up in the featured section. They also get a mention on my podcast and links on my podcast show page and a commercial. It's a great program, again, affordably priced to help women in business build those relationships. Because in the group right now, we have 15,000 women from 93 different countries who have indicated that they're interested in finding about well and to enhance their midlife journey. So all you coaches out there and business people and everything else, this is a targeted demographic, 45 to 55. They represent $15 trillion in consumer purchasing power, which means these particular group of people, they spend money and they're online. So they understand how to work the internet. And if you have products and services that you sell online, you definitely should consider the premium membership.
Okay. I like that. Thank you, because I now I know more about that. The VIP day,
Yeah,
just one
VIP,
day can
yeah.
change your life.
Yeah, that's a one-on-one program for CEOs, managers, and people who really have only one day to get their wellness thing together. And we spend one day on one issue. And by the time they leave, after 6 to 8 hours, and we have fun, they get a swag bag. It's a lot of things. Sometimes I bring in an expert to talk to them. By the time they leave, they will have some solutions on what they need to do that will give them some results.
Wow, that's what we like. We like solutions. And
Yes.
then she says, join us, the Vibe Living Women 40 Club on Clubhouse. So, how often are you on Clubhouse?
I'm on Clubhouse 2 to 3 times a week. I do a
Okay.
room on Mondays at 10:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on Thursdays at 4:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I co-moderate a couple of rooms, but those two are in my clubs right now. So those
Okay.
are the two I do
So,
for sure.
also, she has her coaching website, her Wellness Over 40 website, her YouTube channel for Vibe, and you can click on here to schedule a chat. There are multiple other things listed here. We won't go
Free
into them,
download.
but what we will do is we will put the link in the chat so that people can contact you. Can you, let me see, I have it over here, and I'm going to copy the link tree and put
Okay,
it in the chat. So as people come across this broadcast, they'll know how to contact you.
fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Hmm.
that.
And also, I'm going to show this up on the screen, and then I'm going to put it in the comments over here.
Fantastic. Thank
All
you.
righty, guys. So, and make sure I did that right, that I didn't cut half of it off. Okay, there we go. And it is now in the comments, and I'm going to stop sharing so that we can hear from Robin.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Hey,
Thank
Robin.
you so much for joining us, Lennis.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Robin.
It was very, very fun for me to listen to all of the benefits of yoga, and I knew a lot of those, but it was great reminders and some pretty interesting, shocking things about what the benefits can be. So, Lennis, just one really quick question: if someone is interested in getting into yoga, they're just not that familiar with the resources and how to even start. What would you recommend for somebody who's yeah, I want to try that. I want to try yoga.
I would say go ahead and Google yoga for beginners on YouTube, or go into YouTube and put yoga for beginners. I would try that and just see if you like it or not. You want to make sure you're studying with someone who's certified. They should have that in the comments somewhere, which means that they've not only studied how to do it, but they studied the benefits of the body and why they're doing what they're doing, and what certain moves mean and why they're beneficial, and the correct alignment of what to do. So that's where I would start. There's also some great books. There's one book that I don't know if I can put my hands on it. Okay, yeah, here it is. It was called Anatomy of Fitness Yoga, and it's got a workout poster, And I got this at Barnes and Nobles. They're gone, but I'm sure you can get it online. But it's excellent. It shows a lot of the different moves and the benefits of the move. So you might want to consider that as well. This is
What's
what I
the
use.
title again?
It's called Yoga Anatomy Fitness: The Trainer's Inside Guide to Your Workout.
Okay,
Okay, that's the name. It's kind of shiny there.
great.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's a great book. It's got a great poster that goes with it that I have up in my workout gym in right off of my garage. I have a workout gym where I do my yoga, my weightlifting, my elliptical, everything's there. And I have this thing on the wall, and that's what I use for my, yoga and
Oh,
all that stuff. So yeah, I use that as a guide.
great, great. Well, this was very, very fun for me in particular, and I'm sure the audience really enjoyed all of the
I
information.
hope so.
My goodness.
Yes. So who do we have coming up next week, Robin?
Next week we have Lakeisha. She'll be
Ah.
with us next week, and I won't be with us next week, but
Mhm.
I'll see you the week after. So after Lakeisha, let's see, that would be, oh my goodness, May 5th. Brenna is going to be with us in May. So Brenna's actually going to do a back-to-back show for us on how to go from room to room to clean your house toxin free.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Clean and
but
green, happily green and clean. Well,
yes,
we know that Linus is a very busy woman. She's probably looking at the clock because I know she has to be somewhere. So we want to thank you
yeah.
so much for joining us, and we're gonna release you, and then
I'm
we're gonna
packing right
wrap
now.
up.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi,
So we
Linda.
love
Thank you
you,
so much for
and
being
Bye.
thank
with
you
us.
so
Bye.
much for your
Bye.
time. See you later. Okay. So
Okay.
I just admire how you find these guests. I'm telling you, they are so knowledgeable, and we get to benefit from that over here at BizChicks. And so we thank you for that, Robin, for your due diligence and for the fabulous guests that you have been able to bring to the platform to enhance this program. So thank you again, and have a safe journey. We know that you'll be traveling, as will I. I'll be coming to you from Texas next week, um, but we are just so encouraged by the things that you bring to the platform, and we look forward to hearing from Lakeisha because Lakeisha is our beauty person, right?
Yeah, and she's famous. She was on TV yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
I think
Oh, okay.
so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know she was on what is it, Good Day Sacramento?
Hmm.
Yes, yes, she is a celebrity. And
She
so
is.
we really enjoy her. And the things that she shows us how to be camera ready. So we want to thank her for that, helping us to stand out from the crowd. And I thank you again, Robin. Tell your mom we said hi.
Okay.
And that we wish her well in her 99 years of success and navigating the planet. I'm sure there's some wisdom in there too, Robin. You better write it down.
I know.
Okay, guys.
Bye, Terry. Thank
So
you.
with, yeah, so with that, we want to remind everybody that if you're looking for someone to help you stream or to help you get your social media out there, you can always call us here at Biz Chicks. We'd love to help you. Also, we'd love for you to join our community. We want to know more about what it is you do and how you do it. And you can do that by going to bizchicks.net and filling out your profile and joining that. Also, we want to remind everybody that if you are a VIP member of BizChicks, so we are having a training today at 1 o'clock in on the platform, and we'll be sending you out a notice. So check your email because it probably went out early this morning to tell you about the training and how to get in. So with that, we want to remind you it's okay to be successful in your business and go to the front of your own line. Have a great day. Bye bye, everyone.